So again, a warm welcome to Jenny. It's lovely to see you here. And I'm just going to read your bio to give everyone, and I'm trusting that you'll fill us in a bit with a bit more detail. So Jenny McCabe is the founder of what she calls the Business Queen Collection and is a business coach and alchemist, marketing and brand strategist, energetic worker, and spiritual entrepreneur. I'm fascinated. Previously a business coach for an award-winning franchise, her experience in business and talent for identifying opportunities, solving problems, helps her transform her clients' big visions into leveraged courses, programs, and packages. A marketing, branding, and personal development diva, Jenny stands for every woman living in financial abundance and feminine power to raise the global frequency. Jenny helps coaches, healers, visionary leaders, and service providers learn how to package and price their high-end offers, close high ticket, and attract their soul-aligned clients through her signature program, High-End Business Queen. I am so excited to learn more, so we're going to hand it straight over to you, Jenny. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thanks very much for having me. It's the first time I'm here at the meeting. I apologize. My dog has got a bone. I don't know if you can hear her. It's squeaking away, so I apologize for that. Also, I thought this was more, it was a women's only group. That's my fault. I see there's a couple of men here, so it is quite female centric, my talk today. So yes, so as I say, thank you very much for having me. Very excited to be here today. I'm going to be talking about how to stop people pleasing with your prices. So before we begin, I know Jill has said a few things, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me, so you know who I am and what I stand for and how I can deeply serve you. So as Jill said, I'm the founder of the Business Queen Collection, creator of the High-End Business Queen and the Money Queen. I'm a certified money breakthrough business coach, an alchemist, a marketing and brand strategist, energetic worker, and spiritual entrepreneur. I'm on the Brain's Global 500 list, and as a former franchise coach for a winning franchisor, I've been working with women in business since 2014, and I have 15 years experience in business. I started in property as a landlord or landlady, and then I invested in an estate and letting franchise. So I was a franchisee before I became a franchise coach in a head office, which unfortunately it didn't work out. I lost a lot of money on the business, and I had a lot of shame around that, you know, feeling like an incredible failure. But that was even after the franchisor actually closed their doors because their business model just didn't work. They were, you know, franchisees weren't making money. So even though that happened, I still had to heal from that. So for many years, I had so much fear and shame around owning my voice, owning my message, owning my prices, and being visible online. And I undercharged for many years and struggled with my self-worth, particularly after having a really difficult divorce and a failed business. So in 2020, I started my own coaching business because of what I've experienced and what I've seen from coaching women in the franchising world. So let me tell you, there are a lot of gifted and talented women out there charging peanuts for their work. And unless you do the healing work, struggle and sacrifice, the ascension work, the struggle and sacrifice will keep perpetuating. And this is my calling, and I'm truly passionate about helping women. Sorry, gentlemen. But I am truly passionate about helping women rise into their personal and financial power so that we can raise the global frequency together. And I stand for every woman following their dreams and living in financial abundance. So that is a little bit about me. So a lot of women, they come to me because more often than not, they are undercharging for their services and or programs. They're under earning, and they come to me wondering whether or not they can really make six figures and beyond. So I want to say, if you are a coach, a healer, empath, a visionary, leader, or service provider who's here to serve, then you should be making money. And you are already worthy, you are already enough. And it is actually amazing what a huge difference, a few tweaks and shifts to your mindset and to your energy will give you, so that you feel more confident about charging your worth and healing the people pleaser within, because we've all been there, right? So if you have a tendency for sorry, notifications coming up. If you have a tendency for pricing to please your clients, then you're probably sabotaging your pricing right now, because low fees, they can actually undermine your credibility, and you can end up attracting the wrong type of client. Who's been there? Put your hands up if you've been there. Yeah. So we've been there. Maybe you've even noticed that clients like to test your boundaries with your prices. Who here has been asked to discount their fees? Yeah. And has anybody raised their prices, raised their fees, and then put them down again because you got scared that and nobody was signing up to it, up to your new prices? Yeah. Yeah. So all of these things can add up to you not making enough money in your business, and frankly feeling, for want of a better word, a little bit crappy about your fees as well. And that's instead of feeling courageous and empowered, and of course having a profitable and sustainable business as well. So whether you've been in business for a while or a few months, people pleasing with your prices can still be a huge challenge, especially for women, because of the societal programming and conditioning that teaches us to be pleasing, you know, to be modest, not to ask for too much, or not to be too much. And that's instead of us standing in our power and going after what we want. And the consequence of this means that you may feel the need to cave in and reduce your fees at the very first sign of an objection, or underquoting to win business, or even customizing every single quote or offer that you give out, just to please your clients. But when you can overcome the people pleaser in you and price with confidence, you take back your power. So when you price with confidence, you are making a statement that you value your time and your work, and you're not afraid to charge your worth. And this means being able to set boundaries. I spoke about this with Gillian earlier. You know, being able to set boundaries and say no to clients who can't afford your fees, and giving you the freedom to make decisions that are best for you without having to worry about what other people think. And this will reduce the drama around pricing, because if you don't, it does create an environment where you are doubting yourself and questioning your worth, which isn't really a great place to be in. Because without all the drama, you can easily grow and scale your business and step into your worth and become comfortable with your fees. So I want to start with people pleasing. What is people pleasing? People pleasing is the core need to be liked and accepted, and it's also a deep need for a sense of belonging or security. And this conditioning actually goes back thousands of years, back to the caveman era, because if you weren't accepted in a tribe or a community, you would have been kicked out of the tribe, and your life would have been in danger from an attack from a saber-toothed tiger or a woolly mammoth or whatever whatever the dangerous animals there were at that time. So it comes from a survival instinct for the need to belong. So for women, because of our size and physicality, and particularly our vulnerability during pregnancy and the responsibility of looking after children, women were really dependent on the men in the tribe, but also on the tribe as a whole, for their protection and, of course, their survival. So obviously, today, we don't have those same dangers. But nowadays, people pleasing still does come from a place to protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe. So it does come from a good place, essentially, but it's not effective because people pleasing can make us more insecure, more vulnerable, and it certainly is disempowering as well. So for women as children nowadays, we are brought up and we're taught to be pleasing from a young age. We get praised for being a good girl. So people pleasing can also be called, is also known as the good girl syndrome. We're taught to be, say, pleasing and nice and cute and all that kind of thing. But also women are more naturally compassionate and giving, which are great qualities. But of course, that does lead to people pleasing. And by the way, healing the people pleaser in you, it doesn't mean that you can't be compassionate or giving, because you absolutely can be. It just means you have to set better boundaries, because in business, people pleasing really does show up in your pricing. And you do have to overcome this, which can be hard because it's letting go of years of conditioning. But when you can rise into your femme power and own your worth, you are assigning a value on the service that you give to your clients based on the results, the outcomes or transformation or the experience that you provide through your service. And then standing in your power to not cave in and reduce your prices as well. And also on the other side of it's about not becoming aggressive or defensive about your fees. So here are my top 5 people-pleasing tips, people-pleasing with your pricing tips. How am I doing for time, Jill? Am I okay? Yeah, cool. So number 1 is to stop apologizing for charging respectable fees. So let me repeat that. Stop apologizing for your prices, because it's perfectly acceptable to make money from something that you love or that you find easy to do. And just because you love what you do or you find it easy, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paid in abundance for it. Because at the end of the day, you are in business and you are absolutely allowed to make a profit. And also feeling apologetic for charging respectable fees, it's not empowering, and it's not empowering for your clients either. And it's also about having the tone of apology in your about your fees, because if you're not confident about your fees or feel insecure, as I say, it is disempowering. Has anybody ever sent out an email by with a quote, with the language like I hope you find this quote meets with your expectation, or hope you are happy with the price or the quote. Has anybody ever used that kind of language? No? Well, that is using apologetic language and being in the energy of apologizing for your prices. Because when it comes to expectations, you actually have no idea what people would find cheap or expensive. My mentor always used to say, don't climb into somebody else's purse and decide what they can and can't afford. So at the end of the day, someone's expensive is somebody's cheap is also somebody else's expenses. So basically, don't apologize for your fees. Be proud of your fees. State your fees with confidence that your service has value, and you need to let go of any guilt or shame that you might have for charging respectively, because it's not serving you. And really the only way to do this is by simply giving yourself permission to start owning your worth, because your pricing, is a business decision. So I'm going to give you a couple of questions here to ask yourself about your fees. Just take a quick. So question number one, what do I want my fees to say about me? So remember, your fees are a business decision, and your fees are a message that you put out to the world about how you value yourself and where you fit into the market. So your fees actually do say an awful lot about you. So you need to decide, what do my fees say about me? Number two, do your fees represent the value your clients receive from your service, which is their transformation, their outcomes, their results or experience? Or do your fees represent your fears or other people's values, or what other people say you should be charging? So let me say that again. Do your fees represent the value your clients receive through their results, or do they represent your fears? And question three is, who do I want to attract with my fees? Is that people who are going to show up and do the work and see value in your service, or is that people who are going to complain and be difficult to work with? So remember, going too low with your fees sends out the wrong message to your soul aligned clients. And also low fees make you, whether you are or not, it does make you appear to be less experienced, an inexperienced coach or service provider or whatever it is that you do. So tip number two is to accept that being judged has nothing to do with you. So this isn't something that you can control, because whether you know it or not, it's already happening. You're being judged for everything that you do, everything that you say, how you show up on social media, how you show up at networking events. So accept that being judged has nothing to do with you. And what you need to do is to not give it any more power and let go of caring about it. Don't let other people's money mindsets determine what you charge. So one of my clients, she was or she is, I should say, a web designer who also offered social media management to her clients on a monthly basis. And she had a bookkeeper who was obviously doing her invoices and gathering them all up. And she looked at the invoice and basically questioned her about her fees and asked, do people really pay that much for a social media package. You know, it's quite expensive, isn't it? I was like, oh my goodness, sack her, get rid of her, please, because at the end of the day, she doesn't get to decide, you know, she doesn't get to decide your fees. She's no idea. This bookkeeper had no idea about the results that my client was getting for her clients. And it's really not very helpful. It's not a helpful comment, because it does start creating doubt, and you can start comments like this start creating doubt for you, and you can begin second guessing yourself. And equally, don't ask people how much you should be charging for your services or your programs, because unless they are your soulmate clients, or understand your client inside out incredibly well, they're going to offer you an opinion that you're not going to like. So tip number 3 is to learn to love your fees. So yes, learn to love your fees, because like anything that you love, you're going to stand up for them, you're going to uphold them, you're going to fight for them, and you know, you're going to respect them, and you're going to expect your clients to respect them too. So everything in your business has energy to it, and your fees have energy too. So it's up to you then to give your fees the energy that you want to give off. So for example, if you're being apologetic about your fees, then the energy that you might be putting out could be of guilt or of shame. And these are, of course, negative emotions. But if you love your fees, if you really love your fees, you're going to put out a loving and positive energy around your fees. So yes, I want you all to repeat after me. I love my fees. So tip number 4 is don't confuse your business with a charity. Like I said earlier, I can't tell you how many talented women charge peanuts and then treat their business like a charity. If you're a coach, healer, therapist, service provider, you are inherently built to want to help people. But it's also important to remember that you have the right to say no, and to have boundaries around your time. And you don't have to help everyone who knocks on your door. You can't, you'll just be burnt out. So you need to start running your business as a business and not as a charity. And this means setting clear boundaries around who you want to work with. So you need to be, as I say, you need to be super clear. If you answered those questions, 3 questions previously, about who you want to work with and who you're willing to work with, who you're not willing to work with, it's going to help you avoid taking on projects that you don't really want, or clients who can't afford your fees. So this one's nice and simple. Just get paid for your work and then give to a charity of your choice. I give to Barnardo's and cancer research. So your business isn't the charity, and there's a massive difference. So my last tip, number 5, which is a great way to heal the people pleaser within you with your pricing, is to create a high-end offer or high-end package. So if you're currently charging by the hour or per session, you need to firstly let go of the employee mindset of trading time for money, and start packaging your unique brilliance into a high-end package to free yourself of undercharging and under-earning, because every business has an opportunity to offer a high-end package, and having a high-end package will allow you to serve your soul-aligned clients, your soulmate clients who truly desire what you have to offer, whilst working fewer hours and with fewer clients for significantly more income. And that's going to give you the impact and the freedom that you probably wanted when you first started your business, instead of being in the 9-to-5 job. And it will also help you do this without sacrificing your soul and your sanity as well. And having a high-end package could also be that thing that catapults your reputation from being unknown, under earning, and being overlooked, to being, the superstar, the shining light in your niche, and being booked out. Also, selling a high-end package takes the same amount of energy and effort as selling loads of one-off 1 hour or 90-minute sessions, without having to worry about finding dozens of new clients every single month. And of course, you do need to learn the strategy, the positioning, and the marketing. But most importantly, with a high-end package, selling high-end packages, you have to master the mindset and energetics around feeling worthy of selling a high-end package and serving premium clients as well. So to recap on the tips, number 1 is to stop apologizing for your fees. Number 2 is to accept that being judged has nothing to do with you. Number 3, love your fees. Number 4 is to don't confuse your business with a charity. And number 5 is create a high-end package, a high-end offer. So that's me. Thank you very much for your time today, everyone. And if you're done running your business like a charity, and you're done with the people pleasing, the overwhelm, and the stress, and you're ready to get strategic about sharing your soul work with the world, and you want to tune into and create a 6-figure business, then I invite you to jump on a call with me, and let's have a heart-to-heart. Let's talk about where you are now and where you want to be. So that's it from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jenny. And I'm sure there's some questions here. Is there anybody here that has any questions? What we'll do is stop recording, and then we can open up to questions for you, Jenny. Thank you.